Hi everyone, it's Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and I am here doing a very special review of the Petit Charas, the Four Sisters and Sailor Moon set just arrived. So I ordered this with a friend through Crunchyroll when they had their release, so to speak, of it. Their prices are usually pretty good. Like I got my Serenity Petite that I mentioned in that review through them. However, their shipping is typically pretty awful. So this should have come out in, I believe it was in June in Japan. And even for it to arrive for them and then to ship it out, it's already the end of August here. So just took a very, very, very long time. But it's here now with a little bit of follow up from them. So we are going to open this up. I haven't even taken a look at it yet, other than to take the tape off and make sure it was actually what was in the box. So the box it came in here is pretty nondescript, just some basic information for the product. I can see the characters for Sailor Moon down there. Oh, let's take a look here. So this, I did take the tape off at this top portion of the box, but that's really all I've done with it. So because this is a special set, there's no blind boxes for these characters. You order the set, you get a full set of 5 figures. So the packaging is pretty good on this. Like it comes with this plastic around it. So let's take this out of the plastic because we won't need that. Now I really like right from the get-go the way this box looks. You can see all 5 characters represented there on the front. We have the sticker that indicates authenticity right up there. And then it mentions that this is the Black Moon Ayakashi no what does that say? Yonshimai. So it's the 4 sisters, or the weird sisters, depending on what translation you go with. On the sides of the box here, if we check this out, oh, so you can see there's that translation. Petit Chara, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, Black Moon, Ayakashi no Yonshimai. And that's on the top and bottom. The sides don't really look like anything. And the back. So we've got the logo, the usual information, and then right here in this corner, this lists, I think this looks like it lists the characters actually. So Sailor Moon. So let's open this up and take a look here at what it is. Oh, one more thing I wanted to point out that I really thought was quite subtle but nice about this was, like, they have the Black Moon logo here, but they also have these little diamondy jewel bits. And considering that aside from the 4 of them, the other Black Moon characters all have jewel names, I just thought that was kind of an interesting little detail for them to throw on the box. Okay, let's see how we look here. Oh, so they've got the top portion of the box here. It's almost like a shoebox wrapped with this little bit of paper. I'm assuming it's to protect this logo underneath. Let's open that off so that I can remove the paper here. Wow, so that's really nice. So this limited edition box here, this is not going to do it justice at all. So this is like a very, very, very hot pink in color and super shiny. So you can see that there. If I do a little bit of reflecting, you get that hot pink color. Same thing, logo on it again. just the outlines of the four sisters. Really nice for a special edition box case to keep these guys in. Of course, mine will be ending up on display. So inside the box, we've got this foam, just plain black foam, nothing on any other sides of it. If we remove the foam from the top layer, I'll see that I have mine upside down. So each character is individually wrapped and placed in the box in their own little cushiony spot. This is kind of an interesting way to package them. Until I had seen some promo pictures online, I would have expected them to come in the same sort of a blind box set, but there are no A or B versions for these. There were a special release that you could only get, I believe, again through Premium Bandai. So much like the limited edition School Life set that they had, where it was just a specific version of each character, no A, no B. This is the same idea, same sort of packaging. So let's take a look at these. I'm going to start with Sailor Moon here, because while she is my favorite, she's probably not the most interesting part of this set. Oh, so these ones, rather than having the plastic sealed around them, the bag's just like a little envelope. I'm going to tuck that right in there. Now the stand does appear to be sealed, and I usually tear these here, or use a set of scissors if I have them. The stand portion pokes through much easier. Now, neat little thing about this particular stand, it's more of a matte color, and you can see if I zoom in there, it's got this moon and stars pattern on the bottom for her in sort of a silvery reflective paint. And I like that a lot compared to how they've done her symbol on some of the other sets. I like that little glittery paint at the bottom. It's really cute. Now the figure herself here. So this is the Season 2 or Sailor Moon R version of Usagi. So she's a little bit different than the first Petit Chara. She's got the crystal star brooch in the center of her bow there. And she's holding the cutie moon rod, so she looks kind of like she's attacking. And if we check her from the sides. There's the little spot where the stand will fit in for her. Really nice paint on these, but I would expect nothing less just because of the kind of set that they are. And I think the only thing I think is a little silly maybe is the cutie moon rod. You can kind of see it's almost like a little warped looking. Like it doesn't sit straight. It is a little bit bendy. So maybe over time you could get it to bend the correct direction. And it looks like the figure actually does come apart a little bit as well. Yeah. So you could feasibly take her apart. They just come pre-assembled. So I'm going to put her on her stand. And then we'll set her off to the side. I guess they took some of the work out of it for you by pre-assembling these. I'll have to play around with her position a little bit, but she looks pretty good there. So let's move her over here. And let's go with Katsi, or Koan, I believe is her Japanese pronunciation for the name. So I've got a set of scissors now, so we'll just slice that one open. So her color is purple. She's kind of Mars's counterpart, or at least that's how they play her in the anime, because she has sort of fire-based attacks. Now, I really like this stand for her. I was curious what they were going to do. So she's got a nice deep purple color for the stand. And then they have that dark crescent moon, the upside down black moon clan symbol. Sort of this little like squiggly pattern with double, I guess, black crescent moons on either side. Or at least that's kind of how it looks to me. Same basic design for the stands and the arms. They really haven't changed them because they do seem to be working just fine. Okay, she is completely adorable. So her paint is fantastic. I really like the way they sort of did the stripes on the top part of her just by kind of putting that texture in. The jewel for the center top portion of her head there is awesome. I love the facial expression. She feels really smooth, like the way they did the hair up top here. I mean, there are little seams, but she feels really nice. She doesn't feel like a lot of like molded plastic pieces. I am finding the heads on these bobble quite a bit. So you can kind of see her neck bit there. And her cute, cute, cute little shoes. You can also, it's very hard to see, it's pretty subtle, but there's her earrings, the earrings that all the Dark Moon clan wear, those dark crystals. We'll go her back. So right in the center of her hair is where the stand will fit. From the other side. So of the four sisters, she was probably always one of my favorite. I think I had a soft spot for that episode where she buys Rubius the perfume and he like throws it on the ground and stomps on it and she's all sad. So there she is all set up on her stand there. She looks kind of like she's like about to throw out like a burst of flame. So absolutely love her, super cute. And then we'll move on to Birdie, or gosh, I always say her name wrong, Baruch or something like that in the Japanese. So she was the counterpart to Sailor Mercury, in case you haven't kind of seen, I guess, those. And I'm not hopefully ruining any big surprises for you if you're watching this, but she had more water-based, ice-based attack. So her stand is blue to match her color. It's really a little bit more of an aqua than this light lets on. It makes it look a bit more dark than it is. Not quite like Neptune's color, but not as dark blue as it seems to be with the light. But same symbol, so it looks like they're all going to have the same symbol on their stands. Now the figure herself, also pretty adorable. I really like the pose that they've got her in here. She was always a little bit more innocent seeming of the four of them. You can see her earrings highlighted really nicely there. And I love, like, they did a good job of making sure the braid that goes across her forehead, it doesn't just look like it's all like mushed in with the hair. Sometimes on figures like that, they don't get enough detail in there, but I think they did a nice job. From the side, you get that little bit of a braid she has there. She almost reminds me a little bit with that like hairstyle, just with the long hair and the braid and then the ice powers. She's almost a little bit like an evil Elsa from Frozen. I really like the way they did her eyes as well. Like there's something about the color of blue. They just stand out really nicely. And they have this great sort of an ombre thing going on with her hair on the stand there. So towards the bottom it gets a little bit darker. There she is on her stand, looking all cutesy. I'll turn her. So you kind of see that fade, that ombre or reverse ombre, light to dark, I guess. No, that's ombre. So also very, very cute. Although I think that's kind of the name of the game with these figures. So let's go on to this Avery. I cannot remember her name in the Japanese for the life of me. I grew up on the dub, so that's sort of the way I think of these ones, even to this day. I didn't have a lot of experience with the first or second seasons in Japanese. It was S, Super S, and Stars that I got that experience with. So for her stand, I thought they would actually go with more of a yellow, but they went with orange. So she does match Venus a little bit better by giving her this orange stand. Same symbol, same matte texture, same design. There's the figure there. Nice, cute little sassy pose for her. I like the little buttony red detail down the front of her bodice. I'll turn her here. So you can see her earrings as well. A little fleck in the paint on her head there, not too far from my finger, but nothing major. Great shot of the bow detail right there. You don't get to see these characters when they're in action from the back, you know, just standing still very much. Now she's a little bit stiffer. The other ones have a little more of the bobblehead thing happening easily. Her not so much, so I think it's because of that bit of a cape that she has. So you can kind of see that once I separate the neck a little bit there, you can see that little piece. It was sort of covered up before. So she requires a little bit more adjusting to get on the stand properly without having her neck completely vanish. So I'll probably have to play around with her a touch more. There we go. That's not bad. Again, we'll give you a little bit of a shot of her from each side on the stand. And we'll bring out the last one. And then for some reason, I always think of her as Pets, which I'm pretty confident was just what her Japanese name was. So I'm not sure why my brain confuses them that way. I haven't actually watched the episodes in the Blu-ray set for the first part of R that would have the four sisters included in it, so I haven't seen quite how Viz has decided to translate it. If you haven't watched my video reviewing the box set for Sailor Moon Season 2 Part 1, the first part of R on Blu-ray, definitely go check that out when you have time. So nice green stand for her. She was sort of Jupiter's counterpart. She ended up with this sort of evil lightning attack. And it looks almost a little more blue in the video, but it is a pretty emeraldy color of green. And for the figure here, also really nice. I like the gold detailing, the gold trim on her little like boot buckles and the buckle of her belt. You can also, it's hard to see, but on her bodice there, she always had these funny little like boob circles on the bodice. And those are on there too, the little gold circles. I love this little curl right by my thumbnail there with her hair. I like the way they portrayed that. She was probably my least favorite character of the four, and so I like the pose they've given her. She actually kind of has this sort of sassy looking little personality. And then she's got that swept bun in the back, and they put the stand right through the center of it. And that low cut back on her outfit. And the other side here. Kind of see that like supposedly feathery-ish looking part of her outfit on her shoulders. I like the style of paint they've used for these figures. Like the eyes really pop. The hair feels really nice. Not that the other figures felt bad by any means, but there's something about the way they've done it, like with the highlighting, the texture. It's very smooth and they just feel really good. So you can see her there on her stand in all her glory. Kind of makes me wonder if when they do Esmeralda or Emerald, if she's going to get a similar color of stand, or if she's going to be darker than this. So that is Sailor Moon and the Four Sisters. This is the Petit Chara set that came out from Premium Bandai. It wasn't exclusive, so it's not a set that you could just readily get in stores. I'm really happy I got this. If you've been watching my reviews, you know that I've been mainly focusing on the Petit Chara line for the new Sailor Moon merchandise for stuff to collect. And I just think the cuteness of these figures really highlights why. I am super glad that they finally decided to do a set with some villains, and we know that there are more upcoming. They're doing the other half of the Black Moon family, and I also have an order in for that set when it comes out. It's a similar exclusive P-Bandai set, much like this one was, so I'm sure it'll be really excellent quality. Not entirely sure why they skipped out on the opportunity to do Beryl and the Generals, because they did so many sets from essentially the first season. But hopefully they keep making sets like this. I would absolutely love to see them go back and do Beryl, the Generals, maybe some of the villains from S. I mean, Galaxia would be amazing as one of these little figures. But let me know what your favorite villain from the Sailor Moon series is in the comments below, what you'd like to see in the Petit Chara line. Make sure you just generally like, comment, share. If you want to see more of my videos, make sure you subscribe so you get notified when I post something new. And of course, I am on Twitter, so you can find me at Kait Collectible on Twitter, where I update some of my past videos as well as the new ones and just things that I find interesting. Thanks again for watching.